Hi, dear language learners. Today, let's talk about memory. Memory and memorization is such an important topic in language learning, and on the flip side, it's actually one of the main reasons why people give up. I want to share today my top three social psychology secrets in terms of how you can boost your memorization and how you can actually remember 80% of what you learn. And I have so many students actually come up to me and say, well, your method is great. Everyday Nano is great. It simplifies, it helps to integrate it in my busy lifestyle. But then I feel, and this is what I want you not to revert to, I feel my memory is not working that well anymore. And please, I do this video today to help you get out of those false beliefs. I mean, our brain is so powerful. It doesn't matter which age you are in. You can train your memory to actually memorize faster. It is possible. It just needs some tweaks in the way in which you study that actually can boost your memory. And this is so important because actually, if you use the wrong study routine, you will lose so much time and you will actually get frustrated. And well, as my students sometimes put it, they say, well, I do all the things that you say, but I feel I'm just not that good. And then they go into a cycle of, how can I call that? It's almost self-blame and no, I don't want you to go there. This is why I do this video. And for those of you who are new here, please check out the Everyday Nano Technique 7 Steps to Fluency. Download from my website the perfect study routine planner. This helps you. It's a small 10-page guide that gives you the best of social psychology to actually build your personal study routine that helps you to get out of that procrastination, feeling of overwhelm, and feeling, oh, language learning is so difficult. I don't want you to feel that. My mission on this channel is to have you in a short period speak with unshakable confidence. Hi, I'm Dr. Alex. I'm a social psychologist, and I actually share the fundamental laws of social psychology to have you build your perfect way of studying, even if you have a busy life, even if you feel you might never get there. No, I really, this is my passion project. I really want to share with you those, I call them mindset shifts that help you actually study in a more effective way. But now let's start. The first one of these three key secrets of social psychology to boost your memory is first one is one question to always have in mind, and this is backed by research in social psychology. You need to ask yourself at any time, whatever you study, how is this relevant to my own life? When can I use this? Well, if the answer is I can't use that, don't focus on it. I know you will say, oh, but our language teacher said this is important. Yes, okay. If it is important to your language teacher, do it, but then tweak it in such a way that it becomes relevant to your own life. So, for example, I give you an example. I'm currently studying my fifth language, Italian. For those of you who don't know me, I speak four languages: German, English, French, and Spanish. I give also classes in those four languages. And currently, I'm studying Italian because I always also want to keep on learning. So I'm actually, my aim is in the next 10 years to add at least three languages. So in Italian, what I do is, for example, if I learn the verb for I can or can I, posso avere, can I have something? I then actually think, okay, when is in my real life the next situation where I really ask somebody this in my mother tongue? So I was actually thinking, okay, that's possibly when I go shopping next time. And I was thinking, typically when I'm at the checkout till, I would ask somebody, can I have a bag, please? And so I was like, oh, I don't even know what the word bag is in Italian. So, posso avere una borsa, I think it was. No, there's another word you see, and this is exactly the principle. I need to again relate it to a real life situation because now I know only borsa, but there's another word. So I will memorize that one again. I will show you in the third step how I do that now because I realized I didn't memorize it first. So I need to then, and this is step 2, I need to imagine, and this is in social psychology, this is called creating future memories. I need to imagine myself, like in a movie scene, how I ask somebody at the till in Italy for a bag, and then this reinforces, it's called also double coding. By the way, as always, I will leave the scientific sources in the description of the video if you want to read up more about this. There have been fascinating studies done on this. Double coding means if you actually support your memorization by some visual cues, and these are visual cues, imaginative visual cues. If you do that, you will actually give your brain the chance to memorize quicker because you have a kind of little movie scene in your head. If I know what you if you know what I mean, if I know what you mean. Well, those of you who follow me for a longer time know what I mean. So what you do in that case is you actually activate two types of memory. The one is taking in the written form or maybe the listened form, and the other one is the visual form. And is it not wonderful that we can actually retrieve past memories in our brain, but we can also create these future memories? It's actually for me personally also, and this is now really social psychology, it's a fantastic way to get out of dwelling on the past. For example, if I realize myself, I spend too much time thinking, your inner dialogue when it kicks in, too much time thinking about the past. Well, the past is nice to have these positive memories, but sometimes I don't feel like dwelling on negative memories from the past. So I use also language learning and imagining future positive memories to get myself out of that and focus my mind on something new, which makes me also instantly more joyful and more, in a better mood, right? Because if we spend hours, well, this is my personal experience, dwelling on the past, on negative things of the past, what could I have done differently, it doesn't really change. Well, yes, I hear you. You will say, yes, of course, we need to learn from the past. Well, that's great, but do it once or twice, but not the whole time. And then when you kind of getting tired of replaying the same scenes in your head, you can use that future memory technique to actually get going with your future plan and with the rest of your life that you still have, because the past is already gone, right? Let me know in the comments what you think about this. I'm really interested to hear your opinions, your personal experiences about this. Now, that was number 2. So the first one is always ask yourself, okay, whatever I'm studying, how can I use it in my real life? Or what do I live next time? Or what have I lived that I can use that sentence that I'm practicing? And second one, the future memories, the visual imagination. And now the third one is the bodily, the somatic way of reinforcing it. If you have watched my one but last video on the 3 somatic ways to actually reinforce memory, this builds on it. There has been fantastic studies done on showing how even just writing, that's a bodily movement. Writing creates actually or adapts what you have passively seen or taken in into your own experience. You need to experience with your own body. So writing helps a lot, handwriting it. As you know, those of you who follow me since a longer time, I always write one sentence, put it on my kitchen cupboard as a post-it note, and then whenever I cross in front of that post-it note, I would read it out aloud. Now, also talking it out in terms of talking to somebody else about it or explaining it to somebody what you've just learned. Can be just for somebody, not even somebody who is studying the same language. You just sharing what you have learned to somebody will enhance memory. And I hear you if you say, well, I haven't got a study buddy. I'm not lucky enough to have somebody in my family who studies with me or who I can talk that back to. Use ChatGPT. For those of you who watched my video on how to use ChatGPT, you can actually use ChatGPT to practice. And let me demonstrate that because I actually want to try that out myself now for that word that I forgot. I want to learn it now. I will actually activate ChatGPT now. And as always, activate the voice version of ChatGPT. I'm doing it now. Hi, ChatGPT, are you there?
Hi, Alexandra. I'm here. How can I help you today?
Thank you so much. That's so great. As always, you are my perfect Italian teacher and study buddy. I want to simulate a situation that I'm at the checkout till in my local supermarket and I want to ask in Italian, can I have a bag, please? First of all, can you remind me what the word is, what the sentence is? And then, please, you are the checkout person and I will ask you for a bag. Can we do that situation, please?
Of course. Let's do that. In Italian, you can say, Posso avere una busta, per favore? Which
Busta.
means, can I have a bag, please?
Thank
Let's
you so
start the
much.
roll.
Yes.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. Posso aiutarla?
Sì, grazie. Posso avere una busta, per favore?
Certo, ecco una busta per lei. Altro?
No, grazie. Solo voglio pagare. Es pagare in italiano?
Sì, pagare in italiano significa to pay. Va bene, procediamo con il pagamento.
Grazie. Um, can you remind me as well, how do I say have a good day? It was buona giornata. Buona giornata.
Sure. To say have a good day in Italian, you can say buona giornata. Great job. Would you like to
Thank you.
practice anything else?
No, that's all for today. As always, I stick to my 5 minutes per day and I want to carry on with my lovely video for my followers. So have a good day. Buona giornata, ChatGPT.
Buona giornata, Alexandra. Have a great time with your video.
I love it how ChatGPT is being so polite and so friendly. So that's my way. Whenever I have no family member around or friend or study buddy, I use ChatGPT to have these easy conversations. And in the same time, I used the two previous principles. I used to imagine a real situation that I live in my real life. And also I had this future memory, how I would really say that in an Italian supermarket. So next time I actually will travel to Italy, I will practice that again. And then, of course, in that real life situation, I will learn much more because then I have a real fluent native or fluent Italian speaker in front of me. So that's it for today. Those were the 3 secrets how you can boost memory. Please, as always, drop me a comment how you go about boosting memory. And don't forget to also like the video. That helps me generate more free content for you. And as always, see you in the next video.